So it's there. Right. So I just want to do a quick review of the Speak to Sell framework, our little map, to give you a little you are here. So you can see what we've done so far, where we are. There's still a bit to go, I can't lie. But that's why we've been quite specific about what we cover this week. Let me just get that on full screen. Let me move the chat. Right. Are all your faces over that, or is that just for me?
No, I can see it. We can see
I
each
can see
other.
it. Right. Let me oh, you've gone down the bottom. That's fine anyway, because you're away from the bit that I want to talk about. So we've spent a good portion of time this week focusing in on mindset because it's huge around selling, and we've had some great conversations and seen some great mindset shifts. And we spent a good portion of time changing how we feel about selling, and everybody, has had the big revelation of looking at it like customer service, which is excellent. Tonight, we're going to start to dig into you as an expert, start to get you comfortable about bragging about yourselves. Um, Product and service, we go in deep in the full program if you choose to carry on with us after this week. And I'm coaching somebody through this at the moment. It does take a bit longer because you really have to dig into the features and benefits and work through the true output and the true benefits. That does take a bit longer to then craft your questions to help you understand the needs of your potential clients. So then you can be really tailored in your approach as to how you then pitch. So it feels special to them. They feel heard, they feel listened to, not sold to. It's more like it's consultative selling, it's selling through the art of conversation. Last night we went into connection and trust, which was a great session. I've loved all your posts today. I'm going to do a bit more catching up in a second, but yeah, that's been my one of my favorites so far, I have to say. And then the author,
Thanks.
oh, not bias at all. I dangled it out there. I knew she'd bite. And then your authenticity and why is a big part of this, but again, it takes a little bit longer to dig into the background of that and you and your offers. Um, so tonight we're going to do a bit of a different challenge. Oh, that's what I was going to say. And then once we've dug into the features and benefits and then work backwards to then how we understand the needs of our client with all these skills of our listening and curiosity, we can give a tailored pitch. And then once you've crafted all of that, the craft section is quite a big meaty bit. You then have loads of material, the features translated into outward benefits. What does it actually mean? When I'm coaching somebody on this, I'm very much, it sounds savage, but so what? But so what? And the amount of people that sell features over benefits. And then you can relate that to all the channels, whether you're doing a free masterclass, whether you're doing discovery call, sales call, quick chat, whatever it is you want to call it, or whether you're putting things out on social media. So what we're going to do tonight is start to focus on you. I'm going to stop sharing because this is getting on my nerves because I don't need it now. How do I stop? Uh, I'll just keep talking. Where have you all gone? There you are. Um, so we're going to focus on starting to dig into why we're so good, our skill set, but how it impacts our potential clients. So we're going to do a bit of a lonely hearts task tonight. You're going to write a lonely hearts ad calling out to your clients. Talking about why you're so good, but framed in a way that it's about your client. Again, it makes it a bit more comfortable, and it's about them. It's not about us, it's about them. So for example, if I'm at a networking event and somebody says to me, after a bit of a chit chat and how's the weather and how long, far did you travel, so on and so forth, and they say to me, what is it that you do? I'll say, I love making people feel fabulous about selling. Like, I love it when they have that epiphany that it is just a conversation. Like, once they've learned the speak to sell framework, they can. sell in a way that doesn't even feel like it. It's just like a coffee with a friend. Or I might say, I love empowering women to feel confident to take on their public speaking opportunities because I also have a small stage to help people take those first steps if they want to get into public speaking. And I absolutely love that and helping people see how amazing they are and getting them out on stage and confident to do that. So it's all very much about the client. And I'm just going to hand over to Beth, just to go a little bit more into sort of the mindset side of that. And actually, while I'm getting rid of this stop share before Beth goes, I'd love to know your initial thoughts about embarking on this task and me asking you to brag about yourselves. So just in the chat, I'd love to know your initial thoughts on this.
Can't, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. I can't type.
Oh, you
Or
see,
you
it's a bit sketchy.
So
can't hear.
be a step too far while I'm driving, but don't worry then.
You're just
Don't
zipping in
worry,
and
don't
out.
worry.
Come back if you get clear.
Yeah,
Like a deer in
okay.
headlights, says Shannon.
Mm.
Anyone else? Feel okay? Come on, Helen.
And think about the transformation. What is the end result of the person that you're working with? Like, what does it give them that'll really help you with this task? I mean, I did a very bold one of my reels the other day. If you go and have a look, I was like, what gives me the right to teach you to sell? And I did go through my experience and what I've done and so on. That's a step too far. Go back to that picture that I put on the other day about small steps. Emily feels okay. Excellent.
Mhm. Okay, really interesting. And I too have got, if you go onto my Instagram at the top, it says one of the pinned ones is who am I to teach you how to reset? And then I go into a thing where I get myself slightly tangled up in the dog's lead. But essentially I'm saying, because I'm fucking good at it. And I'm telling you why I'm good at it. And that was 14,000 views, I think. Not as many as my sunbeds one. Not actually the sunbeds on holiday. It was crazy. But yeah, it's going off where to start and how not to waffle, go off topic. Okay. Me? Same. Okay. So for somebody who talks a lot, it's really easy to go off topic. So it's thinking about a couple of things that you want to get across. Most people will only hear two or three things that you say. So it's what do you want them to remember from hearing you talk? So if you're feeling unsure in terms of, and at the moment, so Liz has just said she's still not sure because she's still crafting her offer. Don't worry about the specific offer at the moment because the offer is you and your business doing decluttering and reorg or home organization. So that is the offer. The specifics of that offer will change. And also you might come up with one offer and then actually you might build on those offers. So those the finite bits will come depending on what offer you're specifically driving to an audience. But for the sake of, say, the Lonely Hearts concept, it really is about being able to say with confidence and keeping it short. So if you remember, like the Lonely Hearts in the back of the newspapers, it really is very short. It's, my name's Beth, I'm a mindset coach, and I love what I do because I want women to feel as empowered as they can to live a life that they choose. So that's me kind of saying, I know that that's what I want for them, because I'm assuming that the person who I'm speaking to, that's why I'm speaking to them about it, is somebody who wants to feel like that. So I'm talking to them in a way that is talking to their pain points, as we call them, or and then I would say something about why I'm good at that. And that's what you need to feel comfortable about doing, because we tend to feel very good at saying somebody else is really good at something. But when it's something about ourselves, oh, this old thing. Oh no, this is only a tenner. Or God, I've had this for years. You know, it's like, don't make me talk about myself, because we perceive that potentially as being bragging or showing off, or who do you think you are, or that's a bit crass. So the key with this is we're not talking about the features of your offer. So it's not, I'm Beth, I'm a mindset coach and I run a 12-week program to help women overcome. You know, you're not talking about that. It's not an advert like that. It's who you are and what benefits you bring in terms of your skill set. So I'm really empathetic because I've walked my talk. So there I'm talking about, that's my skill set, as I'm massively empathetic. And why can I tell them that? Because I've been through loads of stuff and my framework works. And I know it does because it's not from textbook, it's from life. So it's a connection which makes somebody else who's a mindset coach, who could be equally brilliant, but they're dealing with something that's different to the stuff that I'm dealing with in terms of mindset. And that's why there's room for everyone. You can be, you know, one of many hairdressers, you can be one of many coaches and fitness, you can be one of many whatever. But it's what sets you apart are those benefits of your own personality, your skill set, not the features of what you're actually offering. Does that make sense? Is that a bit roundabout?
So for
Not
you,
sure.
yeah, so for
Not
you,
sure.
how do people feel, I
So
guess?
you're not selling your offer. So you're not saying this is what I am selling you. So for example, Portia, I know what you do. So you're not saying I come to your house and I will talk you through what to expect before your operation, and then I'll come over afterwards and I'll see you through that process. That's what your features are of your business. What you're talking about is, my name's Portia and I love caring for people, which is something that I've done for the last 25 years career, because I'm passionate about helping people feel safe. And as somebody who loves horse riding, I know how much that feels. So whilst haven't had a knee operation, you can put your skill set and personality into the feeling that they might feel about being scared about something. Does that make sense? So it keeps it personal rather than sounding like you're trying to sell your actual offering to them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Clearer, anyone, or not? Yeah. Some very serious looking faces.
They're thinking.
Yay, thanks, Natalie. Okay, so that makes sense to you as well, Emily. Good. Maybe slightly around the houses. So one of the things is we've got to feel comfortable about saying what we're good at. Mm. And one of those big things is, do you know what you're good at? Now, our brain is really quite lazy. It's brilliant, but it's really lazy. So we go and find information to tell us that we're true by taking a super highway to an experience that we've had. And if we don't have an experience that we can draw from, we can make it up. So we don't distinguish between truth and fabrication. So if you are thinking that you are a caring person and you know that to be in your role, you need to be caring, but you think, I don't know if I am caring. Am I caring? Am I as caring as I need to be? How do I know that to be true? You need to find the evidence to say, no, I am caring, and I know I'm caring because. So think about that, those skill sets that you have and the experiences that you have that back up that belief. And then you have to keep reminding yourself, because your brain is lazy and it will go to the first place that goes, oh, are you sure? Are you sure you're the most caring person that you need to be? So you need to create a new highway to the experience. It says when that neggy Nelly comes in, it goes, are you sure? It sounds a bit braggy to me. You're not as caring as you could be. You've got that, no, hold on, I am, because I know that when I looked after that patient or that neighbor or that child or that whatever, you've got those experiences, and that creates a stronger pathway for your brain to go to the experience, which then shuts down the neggy Nelly when you start doubting yourself, that seed of self-doubt. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're finding it difficult to talk about something that you are good at, and you start thinking, well, maybe I'm not that good, think about, well, how do I know I'm that good? And find experiences and write them down so that you can find your truth, because that, and remind your brain, because then your brain will go to that much more quickly. And the more you do it, instead of going around the A roads, you're building a motorway to that response. Yes, networking. I mean, it's a relaxed way of being able to say something without sounding too much of a, like, hello, I'm going to sell you my wares, because nobody wants to hear that. And we've all been to networking groups when you say, oh, hi, what's your name? You come from far. Yes. And if you'd like to save money on your utility bills, and it's like, why don't you just tell me that you sell utility things? Because they don't. They've got this pattern that they've been taught. So yeah, at networking groups, how are you doing? Yeah, I love what I do. I'm massively passionate about helping people because it's something that I know I'm really great at. I've done it for years. So you're sowing the seeds of your experience. I love seeing the results in the women who I work with. I'm passionate about helping people live a life that is theirs and overcoming self-doubt. So you're sowing the seeds, but you're not saying what you're actually offering in terms of a 12-week program or one-to-ones or VIP days or blah, blah, blah. Can do this in person, but so hard on social media. Okay, interesting. Talk to me about that, Helen. Come off mute. What is it about that?
Oh God, how do I do that?
No, you're not on mute. Sorry,
I'm not
go
on
on.
mute. Yeah, I think just being able to talk to people is actually okay in person. But when I'm sitting in front of a camera, I don't know what it is. I just feel like I can't do it. Whereas when I'm with people, I just find it so much easier. Maybe because they're talking back to me and I'm feeding off them. Whereas in the camera, you don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
So what I would encourage you to do, and anybody else who feels like this, which is totally normal, I spend way too much time talking to myself on my phone, which is why I always appreciate any comments back, because it's like, not on my own. But it does feel weird until it doesn't. And that takes practice. So the thing I would encourage you again to do, sitting, hello, my name's Beth and I'm a mindset coach, and I like, it's like, fucking hell, get a different job, because that's really boring. Whereas if you're moving around, and this used to be a big no-no, but now it's much more, people want to see you. Hi, my name's Beth. I've got a glass of water that I'm probably not going to drink. I mean, it sounds a bit forced, but actually it's not. It's just you being more relaxed. So, hi, I'm Helen. I love creating art. It's something I've been passionate about doing for ages. And to be able to see somebody's face when they open my piece of art and it's going on their wall is just so exciting, because they've chosen it, because they love it. And it just brings inspiration to the wall, whatever it is you're going to be saying.
But I think that people might think I'm nuts when I'm speaking, because I would just be like fanning around, talking nonsense.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, actually, who genuinely, I mean, that,
No,
instead of it sort of being,
no,
I don't mean that to be rhetorical, but actually, genuinely, when we ask ourselves these questions, it is like, but actually, who cares? Well, nobody else cares apart from you. So then that's a judgment issue about things. And actually, when we scroll things, it just doesn't matter.
No,
it really doesn't matter.
Maybe I should just take the phone and just talk to the camera during the day.
Yeah. And don't sit in front of it. Sitting in front of a laptop with a camera like that is boring to watch, and it's boring to deliver.
So what, you just carry your phone around with you?
Yeah, like it's my arm, like I'm a teenager.
Okay, I'm going to practice that tomorrow.
And it doesn't have to be all in picture. It's just, hi, I realise I haven't introduced myself for a while. Thanks for the follow. I love what I do. I'm passionate about creating art. It's something, it just makes me feel so relaxed. And to see my customers' faces when they choose my artwork is nothing like it.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, I bought a piece of your art and I can't wait to have it on my wall. Yeah, a lot of people driving on reels. You've got to make sure it's on a hands-free, and lots of people do go in the DM or go in the comments and start going, you should have your eyes on the road and not. It's actually, I did look it up. It's not illegal to do it. But yeah, not having, it's a bit like having a conversation with a teenager. They always say, don't do it face to face. The best time is when you're in the car and they're sat next to you here, because it's less confrontational. Also, sitting square on. I mean, I've put, but you know, that's not a good look on anyone. Whereas, I haven't got it, but here, you know, is better. Same with lighting, you know, and we'll go into that on the big beefy course. But in terms of how it's simple things like that. So if you don't like the look of yourself on camera as well, you can do simple things to just make things look a lot cleaner and sharper, which makes you feel more comfortable. Anyone else? I find it easier on walks as well. Yeah, feels like I've got company. You can always delete them, remember. I mean,
it's entire dog walks recording the same thing over and over and over and over again, and then deleting them all.
Right. So then that's a thing. Is what are you deleting when you watch them? What are you thinking?
I'm just feeling like I've fluffed my words, you know, because I think I'm trying to say so much. That's what I get in a sort of, and I guess that's why you need to do lots of posts, because sometimes you're trying to say too many things in one shot, and I end up sort of thinking, oh no, I messed that up. No, I sort of didn't say that very clearly, or you know, and then it just gets sort of confusing, and I stop.
And I think it depends on the kind of post. If you're doing your pinned post to the top is who are you and what do you do, and it's all of that, that's quite different, and we'll go into that in more. If you're doing a sort of, hi, what, you know, who are you, what do you do, it's that conversation of, I'm Jade, this is what I do, I'm really passionate about it, and it gives me, you know, when I'm walking the dog and having a nice time, I then come back and sit at my desk and I know that I'm working with inspirational artists to create their dream, you know, make money out of doing something that they love.
And also a good place to start is with your stories, because obviously they only last 24 hours, so you can test what your audience likes. If anyone replies, if they're not replying, you can look at the insights. Have they kept swiping, or have they watched it? And then just get a feel for what people like, build up your confidence, and then you can do your actual reel.
Oh yeah, great point. And also with the stories at the top, they are people who are already following you generally. You know, reels will go to everyone and people you're following. But if you're following 3,000 people, unless you're on your screen all the time, you're not going to see most people's posts. I don't go all the way through. You know, if I did, I'd end up buying too much rubbish. So I don't, because I've bought hair straighteners and all sorts of things I'm never going to use if I start scrolling. So just keeping it really short and remembering it's not a one thing and that's it. It's not a pitch. It's a, hi, this is what I'm great at, and this is why I do what I do. But you're not selling your offer. Making sense? Is everyone feeling comfortable about writing their lonely hearts? Recording their lonely hearts and putting that as a video? And try it in different places, but don't worry about deleting it. So what I would encourage you, Jade, if you're, or anybody else who tends to delete them afterwards, is think, actually just post that first one and put it in the group, because this is what to use the group for, you know, post it in the group and just say, what do people think, and be okay with the feedback. You know, actually, we are so critical of ourselves, so critical, and unnecessarily so. And if you were thinking, okay, well, if I'm somebody else and I'm looking at mine, what would I think? Chances are you'd be a lot kinder. You know, that negative voice that we are picking up on all the time, which just doesn't need to be there. Any more for any more? Where are we? 8 o'clock.
Hello. I struggle to know how to end it. how to stop talking.
Well, there is a timer on the if you're doing a story or you're doing a reel or whatever. But I think it's, if you're in front of somebody, it would be then that you pass the conversation back. I mean, that's always a great way of getting out of something. What do you do? What do you think? Are you into art? Do you have your nails done? Whatever it might be, you know.
You know, like you're saying about obviously introducing yourself, and this is what I love doing. It's then that's at the point then when I've said that part, I'm like, what do you say? Just say bye. I'm like, how do you stop
if it's a video,
the actual, you know, like just the real.
What do you love doing? Ask back a question, and then that's a reason for people to engage. So is anybody else sitting here working in your knickers is something that I posted earlier. Turns out quite a lot of people were. So I'm not really, it's not because I want anybody to, because everybody's feeling the same. We're all really hot and everybody's working from home generally. And so there's a sort of element of going, yeah, I'm sitting in my knickers as well. I'm hoping the Amazon door doesn't ring. Or maybe not, I don't know, it depends what it looks like. But so I think, yeah, just keeping it short, not trying to think that you're trying to say everything in one, you're just introducing yourself.
A question for interaction is a really good way to finish it. So when I do about, you know, I genuinely love helping people get the confidence to do the public speaking. I might end it with, how do you feel about public speaking? Do you love or loathe it? Would you rather stick pins in your eyes? And I'd probably just close out like that.
Batting back with a question means that it's a conversation. Conversations are a series of questions. It's not somebody just talking at somebody else. So, and if you don't know what the question is to ask them the question that they asked you.
I've got to fly. Sorry, guys.
See you later.
Thanks.
Looking forward to the video. So, Amanda, homework, task ideas, you're going to load those up.
Yeah, I'll put the task in the group for you to go in. It's up to you. You can do a written one for feedback first if you like, before you do your recording, or if you're feeling good, you can go straight in and do your video. Pop it in the group. Don't forget to support each other, because we're all being a little bit vulnerable, putting ourselves out there. This one is probably a bit more confronting than the tasks you've been given the rest of the week. Bit more of a test. But, you know, we want you to be confident in what you're doing and be excited to talk about it, because you are all brilliant at what you do. But it is a bit confronting when you have to start saying it out loud.
Okay, everyone good? Feeling ready? And the thing is, just do it now. So I'll do one now and I'll upload it.
I'm going to go get my dinner because I'm absolutely starving, and then I'll do mine. Probably.
Excellent. I've just missed the Amazon man, actually.
I'll do mine probably with some sort of greenery in my tea.
He probably knew I was busy. He was like, quick, go now. She can't get to the door. Right, great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
See you in the group.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.